everybody, welcome back to Two Nerds and a Podcast. Today, we're talking about absolutely nothing festive or Christmas related. Instead, we're gonna revert back to spooky season because I fell down the rabbit hole that is basically like spooky talk, I would call it.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah, so I don't know how, but particularly my Instagram Reels algorithm was like, here's like a creepy video about the Appalachian Mountains, and I'm like, okay, I love me some like spooky lore. I'm good with spooky lore, except
Mhm.
then it proceeded to only feed me spooky lore and quote unquote video proof of said spooky lore. And listen, I don't get scared or nervous about a lot of things. And even though I am a thorough watcher of the show Supernatural and I do know how to kill everything, the actual possibility of the supernatural, if I deep dive it like I did with my Instagram, freaks me out. So I watched so many of these videos that I freaked myself out and had to lay there with the lights on for 20 minutes after because I doom scrolled these, and I'm just like, and here's the thing, I had to still get up and go take a shower, and Casey's been in my house. The it's like 10 feet from my bedroom to the bathroom, and I have never skirted down the hall so fast in my life.
What I would do to see that, honestly.
And it's and I'm sitting there going, I am so dumb. There's nothing, my house I know is not haunted. I did not bring anything haunted with me. I mean, the entire time I'm like, I am so dumb. I'm so dumb. Why am I? But it's one of those things where you're being really dumb, but you can't, your body is still reacting. I could
Right.
still feel the tingle up my spine.
You're like,
And
I don't like the feeling I'm feeling right now.
I
I
don't.
don't
And
like
I
this.
know it's unwarranted and really dumb, but I couldn't help it. So I had to share that with you, Casey, and obviously all our viewers, because I just felt really dumb the whole time. Because here's the thing is, they're not even necessarily super spooky videos, but I think because I doom scrolled into the spooky, I went
Yeah,
too
you just
far.
spiral downward.
Yeah. Yeah, and not in a good way. When you can doom scroll and find out some really cool things, and then you can doom scroll and then just freak yourself out like I did.
Yeah.
But Casey and I love talking about the spooky. We love Spooky Month here on the podcast because we get to kind of dive deeper into certain things. And the one reoccurring theme that kept popping up in my doom scroll was the Appalachian Mountains, or Appalachian. However, everybody that I've watched says Appalachian and they're from that region, so I'm going to say Appalachian.
Appalachian.
And it started out light and funny because there's that one girl on Instagram that looks like Ryan from The Boys.
Oh, yeah.
She,
The one with the crazy southern accent.
yeah. She is from, I think she's in Kentucky, the foothills of Kentucky, which is part of the Appalachian Mountain Range. So she does a series of if anime titles were Appalachian, which is absolutely hilarious. But I feel like my Instagram algorithm was like, ooh, Appalachian Mountains, here's some spooky content. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I love folk tales and things like that. But then we started climbing into the again, quote unquote, because I don't know if I believe in the supernatural, but some of these things super convincing. But we started getting into the video proof of stuff, and I'm like, um i don't I don't know about that. So I thought, because there are apparently rules for living near the Appalachian Mountains and being in the Appalachian Mountains, um so
Rules. That's
yeah,
scary already.
Yeah, and apparently these rules have been like handed down for generations, and it's just like it's one of those things, I guess, that you just grow up like knowing these rules, and then when you talk to somebody who's not from that area, everyone's like, "What the heck are you talking about?" Like, I don't understand. So I thought we'd kind of like talk about some of the ones that like I had seen coming up, and how hopefully you can understand how I spiraled out of control and freaked myself out and had to scurry
Oh
around
my
my
gosh, I'm
house.
so ready.
Okay, so one of the first ones, which I feel like is a common sense rule, is never be in the woods from dusk until dawn. So basically at night. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's
No,
just kind
thank
of
you.
yeah, just don't be in, I mean, like if you're camping, stay in your tent. Like just don't be in the middle of the wilderness at night by yourself, particularly.
Oh gosh,
Um,
absolutely not. No, at least be with a friend if you're gonna be out there.
yeah, or again, stay in your tent. Don't be exploring in the night. Stay in your tent. Um, Another one is it says never leave the marked trail. It's marked off for a reason. Again, I feel like that one's a bit self-explanatory because like the reason the Forestry Service has marked trails and made trails is so that one, if you go missing, they know where to find you, like how to find you, or you can tell the people you love, hey, I'm on this trail today, or I'm gonna go up this trail, and it's just like again, common sense. Um, One of the ones that I thought was, and again, this is one of the ones that comes up with the like video evidence one, is if you hear voices close
Oh,
to you, they're far away, but if the voices are far away, they are close to you.
I don't like that at
I don't
all.
either. I
I don't
don't.
want to be hearing voices at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Why
Like
am
I
I
don't.
hearing voices? Like,
Yeah,
if I hear any voices, I'm gonna be terrified.
yeah, and it's not like monster noises. It's like creepy people like
Ugh, yeah, that's
talking
worse.
noises. Yeah. So it's very humanoid. And again, like the video evidence ones, one of them, this girl, she had a very tall fence in her backyard, tall wooden fence. Her backyard wasn't very big, but she had like a fire pit, and it was her and her dog sitting in her backyard, and they're just chilling. It's a nice night outside. She's got her little blankie. And you like I can't remember what the voice said, but it said her name,
Oh God.
and it was like, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" And it's like it's really loud. Like it sounds like somebody's literally standing on the other side of her fence asking where she
That
is.
is so creepy.
And like the
Ugh.
dog is like bolted upright and is like looking at the fence, and the girl is like she doesn't say anything back, but then like you hear it like get further away and like kind of like become a little echoey, and it's still saying, "Where are you? Where are you?" And you're just like, and so it feels like they're getting further away, and then the fence shakes, and like her and the dog like bolt back into the house, and I'm like,
Ugh.
that
Dude,
is
I'm already
so,
getting
and I got
goosebumps
like
thinking
4
about
videos
this.
like that in a row, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, that's not, no, absolutely not. And like being outside, I feel like is one thing. There was another video that was recommended to me, and it was somebody in their room. The doors cracked like a little bit, and oh my god, it said like something like it's I'm you know what did she say? It said like, "Sweetie, where are you?" or "Sweet," and the person is like, "I am home alone." Like the text on the video was like, "I am home alone right now. There is nobody in this house." And it sounds like a woman's voice going, "Sweetie, where are you? Sweetie, I need to talk to you." And then the person like bolts to their bedroom door and slams it shut, but you can tell somebody was trying to push it open, and they slam it shut and lock it, and it's like, "Sweetie, it's mommy. It's mommy. Open the door for mommy." And on the text, it's like, "My mom is not currently here. She is at work. She is not here." And then like the door starts shaking, like she's trying to get in, and it's like, "Sweetie, it's mommy," and I'm like, I'm like, no, 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 absolutely not.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, nuh-uh. So I think that was one of the last ones I watched, which made me like skirt down the hallway.
You're like, "No, thank you."
Like, absolutely not. I need y'all to know that, like, when I walk around my house at night, I am like a bat. I echolocate in the dark. I have lived in the same house my whole life. So, like, if I have all the lights on at night, that means I'm freaked out.
That's not good at
It's
all.
not a good sign. Um, and then another one that I thought was super freaky, and again, somebody was telling a story about this, is do not whistle or sing in the woods, especially after dusk.
Oh my god. I'm not gonna be in the woods at all
Ever.
at
Yeah,
this point,
why are we
ever.
going in there? What are we doing in there, you guys? No.
Like, what are we doing? Um, that's scary.
Yeah. And I got recommended this video about this girl whose grandma lives in the foothills of Kentucky. And so she was getting pretty old up in age, so they were like getting the house like cleaned out and organized and ready and all that. And like her grandma had always told her, "Do not whistle after dark. Do not whistle ever." And you kids, you don't ever think anything about it. So she never did. But then when she was helping her grandma pack up her house, she goes, "I don't know what came over me, but when I got out of the car at my grandma's house, she let out like the biggest, most satisfying whistle that she could. And it echoes off the mountains. And she didn't think anything of it. Went inside, helped her grandma. And then they were sitting on the porch later. And it was really freaky because the whistle basically came back. It was that same super long, satisfying whistle that she did earlier.
She
And it
heard it
can't, like,
again?
yeah, yeah, but it was coming from the woods this time instead of
Oh,
obviously from her. And her
ew.
grandma looked at her and went, "Did you whistle?" And she was like, "Yeah, when I got here, but the sun was still out. It wasn't like dark." And her grandma was like, "Get in the house right now." And like shoved them both in the house, locked all the doors, closed all the curtains, and then there was, again, they could hear somebody talking outside, and it was like circling the house, and then like jiggled the door and realized it couldn't get in, and then it left.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
I was
Ew.
like, oh, absolutely not.
No, thank you.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just like, and the way, like, some of them are like, again, video proof, so you're sitting there watching it, and then some of them, when they like tell the story with such specific detail, it makes me go, it's got to be like kind of real, right? Like, it can't just
Yeah.
be like a weird coincidence, because like that's just too freaky to be that way.
Yeah, that reminds me, I saw this video on TikTok. I have to see if I can find it, but it was like talking about like mimics. It kind of reminds me of that.
Mm, yeah.
And like this girl like had a video of like she caught like a video of a mimic, and it was like her husband like
That's so
upstairs.
scary.
Yeah, and I was like, and it was like video, like she had the video, and I was like getting chills down my spine. I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Um because she was like asking her husband, she was like, "You were not just talking to me a minute ago?" And he was like, "No, I've been doing
Doing
something
whatever.
else."
Yeah.
And then she has like a video of him like whispering to her. Oh, it's terrible. It's so creepy.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to see
I
if I can
am
find it because it's terrifying.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can. I don't know if I liked any of the videos I doom scrolled on.
You're like, nope,
Yeah, like, cuz
don't
I
like
would like
that.
watch it and then I'd be like, "No, that's okay." And then Instagram was just like, "Well, you watched more than like 10 seconds, so obviously you like it. So
Yeah, you
here's
want to see
another
more,
one."
so
And then I'd be like, but except I just kept scrolling, which was my mistake. I didn't refresh anything. I just kept going because, like, it's this weird, like, I'm, like, super fascinated with it because, like, what is it? Like, I don't like, what is happening? And then some of them feel, especially with the power of AI, like, some of them feel, like, real but fake, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, some of the more, like, video proof ones, I was like, like, especially when they start showing, like, the body of whatever creature it is, I'm just like, I don't like, if you were to take a video of an alien and be like, "This is an alien," I'd be like, "No, that's AI.
Yeah,
Like, that's
that's
not an alien." But some of these videos, they were showing just, like, the basically, like, the reflective eyes, like, appearing and then disappearing, like, just, like, a simple video like that. I'm like, "That I mean, it could be an animal, but also it could just be something that we don't know what it is." So, just, like, that lingering possibility of, like, it could be real is what will start to freak me out after, like, 10 videos. I'm like,
Yeah, that's like, if
eh."
you ever get down the it's like the same thing with, like, I don't like to say the word because it
Uh-huh.
freaks me out,
Mhm.
but those what's another word? Those the SWs, not you know what I'm talking about? I wanna say it because it scared the skinwalkers.
Oh,
I don't like
yeah.
saying that word because it really freaks me
Yeah.
out, but, like, going down that rabbit hole is, like, truly terrifying,
Yeah.
um, because, like, the more you read about it, you're like, "This could actually, like, be real," because,
Mhm.
like, they are, like they can, like, morph into, like, whatever.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
like,
they
there's
can take
something off
on
about them, you know what I mean? It's like, you
yeah.
see an animal like, dude, me and Corey saw this dog, and I was, like, convinced. He was like, "That's an SW," and I was like, "Dude, don't," because it was like okay, this dog I'm telling you this okay, we were at the Loves in Barstow,
Oh, no,
okay?
not Barstow.
And this, like, dog okay, this, like, crazy looking dog was just, like, sitting out front. He had, like, a fucked up neck, okay, his eye was, like, super crazy blue, okay, freaking
Oh.
crazy dude, this dog was crazy looking, okay? We, like, get in my car, he, like, walks up to my car,
Oh.
and I throw, like, a pretzel out the window, and he just, like, sniffed it and, like, didn't eat it and then just stared at us. And I was like, "Dude," I
Oh.
was like, "Get out of here." That he's like, that's a skinwalker," and I was like, "Stop, it really was. Stop." Um, because I was like, "Dude, there was something off about that dog," and now I'm convinced. But that's what they are. They're like it's like an animal, and there's, like,
Yeah.
something off about them.
Yeah, so it says that in Navajo culture, a skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal.
Yeah, it's crazy, and, like, it's like there's all kinds of, like, crazy shit about that. Like, if you go down that rabbit hole too, you'll probably get freaked out about that also because it's
Yeah.
like like, make noises and they, like, sound like there's oh, no thank you. No thank you, hard pass.
Yeah,
Um
no. Yeah, and see, and it's stuff like that, but like especially I find when it comes from particularly like Native American legends,
Mhm.
and I don't know if it's because they're like the native people of the Americas that it feels more realistic to those of us in America, or if it's just the way they tell their stories, but it borders on again on that like could be a possibility, but also could just be you seeing a really jacked up dog in a parking lot that you threw a pretzel at.
Probably, but I'm
You know?
convinced.
But
I'm
it's
convinced
like
now.
it could it really like if you're already freaked out and you were to see that, like you're gonna teeter on the side of like that's definitely a skinwalker. Like
Yeah, like, every encounter, I'm like, "No, get away from me, please."
and then there was another video of I keep getting recommended the urban explorer people, which are they're just people like literally exploring places that have been abandoned or they just no longer use or like places you
Oh,
wouldn't
mhm,
normally
mhm.
go. And it's not like they're not looking for anything. They're just like, look at this, abandoned like water power plant or this, abandoned school or whatever. They're not looking for anything supernatural, and I remember I got one of these videos that he was I don't know why, but it was like first of all, they were underground, which,
Oh god, no.
like, is a
Hard pass.
no-go.
Right
Yeah.
there, no. Nothing good happens underground.
Yeah, second of all, it was dark, so they
Oh
had
my god.
flashlights. I'm like, "No." That's also a no. Like, you could tell they were just, like, panning to show you, like, this whole abandoned, like, hallway that is now underground and has, like, 3 feet of water in it, and it looked really beautiful, like, because it's obviously undisturbed by people, it's only inhabited by animals and things, and it's just a nice, like, even pan around this room, and then all of a sudden, these 2 little, like, eyes, like, the reflect like, if you were to shine a flashlight in a dog's eye and you know how it reflects back?
Mhm.
It was basically, like, 2 of those, and he, like, froze, and I'm like but they wouldn't, like, it was just, like, a flash of him, right? And you're like, "Oh, okay." So he continues, and then when he pans back, you just see this whole shadowy figure step out, like, sidestep out and then realize that that person is still there and quickly sidestep back to where they came from, and I was like, "Oh, I don't like that." Like I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't like that either, it's gross.
yeah. Yeah, could it have easily been a person dressed in all black with 2 little reflectors, like, basically in front of their face? Sure. Absolutely. But it also has that eerie sense that it could have been something else.
Yeah.
Because again, dark, damp, untouched by human spaces. Like, I feel like anything could happen.
Yeah, I also feel like there is, like, a part to me, I feel like there is a part where, like, just, like, a little bit the
Yeah.
supernatural, like, because it was same with, like, ghost stories, there's so many of them, and they're
Mhm.
so vividly detailed, and
Yeah.
it's like, unless you experience something like this, you just never know, and I
Yeah.
think that is, like, what makes it so creepy.
Yeah, and I know, like, there's people out there that are like, "Well, if you're a really good writer, then you could obviously come up with stuff like this." Because I mean, if we look at, like, great horror authors like Stephen King and, Mary Shelley and things like that, they obviously come up with these, like, really, like, super creepy like eerie stories, but I feel like most of the time when you're hearing about somebody's encounter with the supernatural, there's always like a detail or two that you're like, I don't know, like if a writer would think to word it that way. Like sometimes the way people word things, you're like, why did you use that word? Or why would you describe it like that? Or maybe you hear random telephone noises in the back of our podcast.
Don't don't mind that. It's the if you hear the noises in the background, that is definitely a skinwalker.
Yep,
Um,
you're
just
living with
ignore
one.
that. Um,
Now you're gonna skirt around your house away from
yeah, I'm
Scarlet.
gonna be like, "Ugh." Um,
Your dad's gonna be
yeah.
like, "Are
Well, I,
you
like,
okay?"
also okay, I, like, fully believe in, like, at least the paranormal. The
Yeah, for sure.
supernatural is, like I feel like there's definitely, like, some like, gray area of it
Mhm.
where it's like, I don't know. I don't know about that." Um, so I already, like, get freaked out. Just, like, the darkness freaks me out, okay? And
Yeah,
I live in the
yeah.
desert, um, in Arizona of all places, so, like, it's really creepy out here. One time I walked outside and I heard, like my neighbor had, like, some fucking, like, goats or some sheep or something, and they were, like,
Oh,
screaming, okay? And it
yeah.
sounded like somebody getting murdered out here, and I freaking ran back inside so quickly. I was like, "I hate it out here. It's scary."
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I couldn't even imagine. Also, like, I live close to, like, reservations and stuff, like, so that's, like, super
Yeah,
scary. Like, the Grand Canyon. Oh, I could not even imagine the shit,
living close
the
there.
stories, the
Yeah.
creatures at the Grand Canyon. Oh god, no thank you.
I mean, any kind of, like, either, like, like, canyons, like the Grand Canyon, or, like, just big mountain
Yeah, or,
ranges.
like, like, even, like, big, like, national parks.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, and it was funny because I I got recommended another video that was not scary. Well, I mean, it was on the same vein, but, like, this girl was basically talking about the Appalachian Mountains and how, because we have, like, models and stuff that we can access that you can basically see what the Earth looked like, millions and millions and millions of years ago
Mhm.
based on the data that we have. And she was showing that, like, even when the Earth was Pangea and it was one giant continent, the Appalachian Mountains were there. Like, they're literally as old as Earth is. They've never, like, not existed. So, like, to her, like, she was like, there has to be stuff that we don't know that lives in those forests. And I
Yeah.
completely agree. It's like the ocean. We don't know what's in
Oh,
the
yeah.
ocean. Like,
The ocean's scary.
yeah, the stuff we've already seen from the ocean, which is only like a very small percentage of what is actually in the ocean, is already freaky as heck. But so I feel like the mountain ranges and the oceans are in the same vein of very undiscovered. Like, sure, we have satellite images of all these mountain ranges, but that doesn't mean we know what is living in them.
Right, like, what's truly in there?
Yeah.
Oh
Because
gosh.
I feel like creatures, especially in forests and mountain ranges, know how to hide, especially if they know they are no longer like the top predator, you know?
Right, and especially if they're, like, familiar with that area, is, like,
Hmm.
because that you could easily it's like it, like, really reminds me of the movie we just watched, The Forest, where it's like,
Yes.
these you don't know this area, you go off trail, these creatures know this place like the
Hmm.
back of their hand, you're toast. I wouldn't even go
Yeah.
on the trail, I'd be like, "I'm gonna die even on the trail, no thank you."
Yeah. You're like, I will
Um,
only hike in a very large group
yeah,
with a
during the middle
tour
of the day,
guide
we're
who
not going
knows where they're
anywhere at
going.
night,
Yeah. Yeah, no.
like,
There will
no
be no
thank you.
camping. There will only be a day trip, and that is it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then the final rule that I saw a lot of was never look too hard into the trees. You might
Oh,
not like what you see.
oh god.
And I'm
No.
like, and which that one, like, again, I can totally understand because okay, so I live like kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like Casey and I both live in towns that when it's dark outside, it's like dark. It's like pitch black.
Yeah. There's no light pollution out here.
No, the only light pollution like I have is I live next to a freeway, but again at night, not super busy, but also like the freeway is if you're standing in front of my house. So if you're looking into my backyard, it's pitch black. There is no light pollution. And I feel like in instances like that, and then like Casey's in the middle of the desert, I feel like if you just, it doesn't even have to be the trees. Like you could just literally look into the vastness of the desert, and I feel like you'll see stuff. It's
Oh,
just like,
absolutely. And, like, if you're already freaked out, like, your mind will absolutely play
will
tricks
make
on you.
something for you. Yep.
Yeah. You're like, "There's something there," and there's, like, literally nothing, and you're like, "No,
Yeah.
no. No, I can see
You're
it."
like, yeah, you're like, I'm gonna go inside now.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, no, I hate going outside, especially out here where it's just, like,
Yeah.
desert and barren and, like, no, there's well, especially out here because there's all kinds of, like, creatures anyways, like donkeys and shit
Yeah, you got
that make
random donkeys
noises.
floating around and
Yeah, I'm like, I can't
snakes
even
and
imagine what
lizards
else is
and
out here.
but yeah. So that was my trip down Instagram kept feeding me scary things. Um I'm sorry for everybody's algorithm who will probably be ruined by this because we talked about it and said it out loud. And, the internet is always listening.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
I feel like mine's gonna be like, here you go. Here's some spooky stuff.
Yeah, and, here's the thing, I've slowly, basically ever since I started watching Supernatural, a handful of years ago, I've slowly started to get more into the spooky, because again, Dean Winchester held my hand and guided me through all the spooky, and so I know how to kill everything. I know that everything can be killed, and so I've started descending further into the spooky. Um, but I just, again, the whole time I felt really dumb because my heart was racing and the fear, and I'm like, this is so dumb. I'm literally in my house. I'll be okay. But it didn't make me feel like any better.
Yeah. Yeah. Is when especially once you get down that rabbit hole, once you're already freaked out, it's like, now I can't not be freaked. You have to like listen to happy music or like listen to
Yes.
watch some happy videos, like
Mhm.
do some
Mhm.
happy stuff.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta, put on the Disney movies with the lights on and your little blankie and just not think
Yeah,
about it.
I've actually been going down not that rabbit hole, but I have been going down a similar rabbit hole on TikTok.
Mhm.
Um that freaks me personally out because I hate animatronics in the water.
I knew
Um
you were gonna say that too.
it literally, dude, it keeps like giving me videos of like these disgusting ass like water rat. Oh, dude, it's like so gross, and I like can't stop watching them because it like is disgusting.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I think it,
fascinating though. Stuff like that. I feel like stuff that scares you is always very fascinating to a point because
yeah,
you don't understand why it's not like, "Oh, I'm scared of spiders because they're kind of creepy looking." It's like I am irrationally scared of this thing even though
yeah.
I know it's a really dumb thing to be scared of. The supernatural, does it exist or not? I have no idea, but it's still
But I'm
after a
scared.
while will freak me out. And I'm sitting there going, "You are so dumb. Why are you freaked out?" And my body is like, "I don't know, but we're freaking out. So you need to
Yeah,
figure it out."
same. That's how I feel with the animatronics because it's like, dude, like realistically, if I like fell in the water with one, I would be fine. But my
But
body and my
you would
brain
have a
would be
heart
like,
attack.
you were gonna, dude, if I fell, I would
If you
die.
fell in
Yeah,
with
I would.
Jaws at Universal off the tram, you
Oh
would
my
literally
god.
just pass away before you hit the water.
Oh my god, dude, that would be the most. That would be, yeah. Could you imagine? That'd be a crazy way to die. And be like she had a heart attack
By a
because she
heart
was so
attack from
scared.
Jaws.
Oh gosh, I hate those things. Yeah, you can go down some deep rabbit holes on those, but like there's some
Yeah.
crazy ones that people like have had videos of, like
Yeah.
from like these random little water rides in like the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
It's just like
yeah.
the grossest thing ever.
Yeah. Or when they do I always like the abandoned theme parks.
Oh, me too. I'm a
And
sucker for those.
again, most of the time they're just urban explorers. They're just literally videoing what they see as they walk through, but it's so creepy. I'm like, I know you're not adding it could be a totally silent video. And I'm like, I'm creeped out now. I don't know why. It's creepy.
Yeah, I could go down a whole rabbit hole, especially like amusement parks and
Oh,
abandoned
yeah.
things.
And
But
I
I
love
yeah.
a good abandoned building.
Oh, me too.
Especially one that has some creepy past. I'm there, but also I'm not there. I'm not gonna go in there.
Yeah, no, you won't catch me there. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. I you know what? I wouldn't do it. No, you couldn't. Nope. Nope, nope.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of, at least for my algorithm in particular with creepy things, it's again the stuff that teeters on the possibility of being real. I will sit there and be like, "Nah, it's not some weird creepy thing on the other end of their door saying, 'Sweetie, it's your mom, let me in.'" It's just somebody literally shaking the door on the other side and all of that. But it's just I feel like if you watch enough of it, it's when you I feel like when you have a scary movie marathon. You're just so,
Mhm.
like, absorbed into what you're watching that your body is just like, "I can't handle this anymore. What are we doing?"
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. No, I definitely and I feel like I'm, like, a very avid, like, scary thing enthusiast. I love creepy
Mhm.
shit, and I have for a long time, and even I will get down a rabbit hole, and I'm like, "Mm-mm, no, I don't
Yeah.
like this."
Yeah, it's like, you get a little it's also, like, the same with, like, true crime, I feel
Oh,
like.
my gosh, okay, speaking of that,
Yeah.
one of my it's actually, like, I don't know why I do this, it's probably why I have, like, crazy ass dreams all the time, but one of my favorite things is, like, I have to usually I listen to stuff to fall asleep,
Mhm.
so when I'm at home, I'll listen to, this podcast called, I can't pronounce that,
Uh-huh.
Malevolent
Mhm.
Mischief, and it's
Oh,
Reddit
that's a tongue
stories.
twister.
Yeah, and it's this guy, and he just does Reddit stories, but they're so freaking creepy, and they freak me out, and I don't know why I listen to
Mm.
them, um, because I listen to them to fall asleep, so, but if you really wanna, like, get freaked out, listen to some of those because Reddit stories always are crazy.
I honestly love a good Reddit story. I'm normally not on the creepy side of Reddit stories. I'm normally on the, like, am I the a-hole stories? But, like, seriously, some people, like, on Reddit, like, their storytelling is, like, top notch, but also, like, I feel like because it's top notch, you could easily get freaking freaked out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some of these Reddit stories, like like, I know, like, some of them the ones that really freak me out are people talking about, like, rest stops in, like, the middle of nowhere. Those stories always really freak
Mm,
me out because
yeah.
I just I hate rest stops, they always freak me out, especially at night. Oh gosh, no thank you. In the middle of nowhere, in the middle of, like, the desert, like, the ones going to California that are just, like,
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
And it's just
Um,
dark and there's nobody out there and
yeah,
yeah.
there's nothing around. No thank you. No thank you. Hard pass. That freaks me out.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I also like on a somewhat related note, but also not related note. Did you ever watch the series on Netflix called Monster? The first season was it had Evan Peters as Jeffrey Dahmer.
Um, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. The only reason I bring this up because I got like a thing for it, and I knew you would be very excited because season 3 is, I guess, I don't know if they're filming or it's getting ready to come out. But it's gonna be about Ed Gein.
What?
Yeah, literally, I saw that and I was like, I have to mention this to Casey because I
Yeah,
know who
that
that
one
is
I'll watch.
now.
That guy is freaking nutso.
Yeah, and I was actually pretty surprised because I think it was a casting announcement, is what it was. Guess who's gonna play Ed Gein?
Oh my god, who?
Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy, the one who played Jax, the main guy, blonde hair, blue
What?
eyes, very handsome. And I was like, "Whoa."
That's weird, huh?
Yeah. But honestly, I think I've only watched, like, a little bit of Evan Peters' performance, but I know from everybody who has watched it that the main character actors they choose for this particular series are always, like, super top notch. So I'm very interested because I've never seen Charlie Hunnam play a character like this. So I'll be interested to see if he's able to do that weird, like, look like a very handsome person, but have that, like, creepy undertone, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I
we'll
don't know
have
though, because
to
I always thought Ed Gein was, like, kinda creepy looking.
I'm gonna have to
Like,
Google
he
what he
was
actually looks like now. Because now all I'm gonna picture is Charlie Hunnam. I mean, I also wonder, oh, okay. I see where they're going. I see where they're going. He is a bit like odd looking, but I feel like he looks like that because we know that he's a serial killer, so
True. Also, it
we
was
see
like
the crazy.
the like 19 like early 1900s. So,
Yeah. Ooh, they have an on-set picture of him. I'm gonna have to send it to you. Yeah, see, there's a couple of
okay,
pictures.
I could see that.
Did you
Yeah,
see
then
it?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm
I
just
see.
used to Charlie Hunnam being very blonde and
Yeah, see,
beautiful.
that's what I was like picturing.
But yeah, they changed his hair color, they aged him up a bit. Um, so it'll be interesting. I'll definitely have to watch the first two seasons, so that I can obviously watch this one just to get a sense of their style of show. But I'm
Because what was
intrigued.
the other one? Was the other one the Menendez brothers?
Yes.
I haven't watched that one.
Yeah, and hold on. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, the Lyle and Eric Mendez story was season 2.
That one's crazy. I mean, I haven't
And
watched it, but I know the story of them, and that's crazy.
oh, really? I
Mhm.
don't know who. Well, I mean, you would know over me, anyways. Oh, they murdered their parents. Interesting.
Yeah, and they actually just recently, like this past year, they got like new evidence brought up saying
Oh,
because they were like abused.
yeah.
So like all this new evidence brought up and they got to be released. Yeah.
Oh,
Um it's crazy.
wow. So we'll have to talk about that in a future episode. So make sure to subscribe for that. Casey, do you have anything to add before we wrap up this episode?
I don't think so. Very creepy. And now I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I feel
Um
like us and everybody listening, which is other Jamie and Natalie, uh, we're all gonna go down very creepy rabbit holes, either on Instagram or on TikTok, which it's really not hard to fall into.
no.
So,
No, it's not.
good luck, everybody. Do it during the daytime, not at night, and make sure to have a happy movie on standby.
Yes.
um,
Or listen to happy music, you know?
yeah,
Whatever
that too.
works.
Yeah, whatever gets you to fall asleep and hopefully not have nightmares. But like I said, make sure to subscribe to the podcast, follow us on all the social media. I don't think is this our last episode of the year?
Is
No,
it?
we've got one more. We've literally got one more episode left of
What?
ye old 2024. So make sure to subscribe so we can talk about maybe what we're going to be doing in 2025. It's going to take me a really long time to remember that we're in 2025
I know. That's
and
crazy.
not like 2017 cuz my brain is just stuck in like 2016,
Yeah,
2017.
I'm I still think it's 2020. I'm like, that was almost
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It feels like yesterday, but also not yesterday at the same time. Time is
Yeah,
just
time
crazy.
is an illusion. It is
Yes.
not real. Um but yeah, make sure to subscribe, follow us everywhere, and we will see you guys in the next episode. So bye.
Bye.